What's up, YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mr. Raider Kid here. Hey, it's been a minute. I am back. I'm ready to get this season started. I'm ready to start pumping out some videos and just talking to you guys once again. I want to apologize real quick if this mic sound quality is horrible. It may sound a little choppy, may sound really rough. But I bought this web camera like a couple years ago for this purpose, for making videos, and I never used it because it didn't work with my laptop. Now that I have a PC, here I am. I'm trying to put out some better quality videos, maybe add a little editing and things like that. I'm still trying to get accustomed to it. Still, this PC is not working out as best as I thought it would be. But then this is really convenient for me. These are Xbox headsets, and it's wireless, and it just uses a little USB chip that I plug in, and it just syncs automatically. So it's really easy for me to use this compared to trying to figure something out or even recording on my phone. This is a lot better so far. So enough of that. I'm back. Let's do it. We got some shit to talk about. Let's talk about the most recent news, and that is the voice of the Raiders is no longer the voice of the Raiders. Greg Papa, like most of you, I grew up listening to Greg Papa on the radio. His iconic touchdown Raiders, which you all know, his voice just seemed, growing up. I mean, I grew up with him at that stage, so that's all I know when it comes to calling Raider games. When I got old enough and I realized that Greg Papa wasn't doing TV games, and I always wanted to listen to Greg Papa's voice compared to all the newscasters on CBS. But it's Greg Papa's no more. And I'll kind of talk about that really quickly here. So the new radio, and I should mention also Tom Flores, our color commentator, is no longer going to be with us going forward as well. The new guy at charge is going to be Brent Musburger. He's a legendary commentator in football, well known for his college football background. So it's not a small name. It's not not some random guy by any means. This is huge. This guy, I believe, is familiar in the Las Vegas area, if I'm not mistaken. He writes like articles on place and bettings and things like that. So that's where maybe that ties into. And Tom Flores, well, Tom Flores, with getting rid of Greg Papa, I think they were just trying to go with a new team. And Lincoln Kennedy will be our new color commentator. And Lincoln Kennedy, if you don't know, is a former offensive lineman for the Raiders. Played with the Raiders in early 2000s. He was coached by John Gruden. I like Lincoln Kennedy. If you ever listen to his chalk talks about the offensive line, his voice and his command when it comes to teaching is very smooth. I really like that. So I'm cool about that. Brent Musburger, I'm not familiar. I don't remember his games off the top of my head. Once I heard his voice, I did recognize him just a tiny bit. It'll be a little different. Then again, me myself, I don't watch games or listen to the games through the radio, so this won't affect me too much. But I did love listening to Greg Papa, and I did love listening to Greg Papa's commentary. He was so electric. He fit the Raiders. He gave us that sound. His voice was the sound of the Raiders. This is it's a little hard for fans like me who loved Greg Papa, but I also understand why. So just to give you a quick little story, apparently Greg Papa kind of talked about this on his radio show today, 95.7 The Game up in the Bay. Him and Mark Davis did not get along. Papa was he criticized Mark Davis a lot after interviewing Mike Shanahan for the head coaching job while we were looking for Jack Del Rio. And he was also he was critiquing Mark Davis on the fact that he let Marcus Allen light the torch. And so Greg Papa was very close to Al Davis. He considered Al Davis as like a second father, he even said. And Mark Davis and Greg Papa pretty much just did not get along, to break it simple to you. So Mark Davis wanted to put his own stamp, and he wanted to go with his own radio. He wanted to change. He's changing everything of the Raiders right now, for a lot for the good, and I'll kind of talk about that in a second because I know a lot of people are upset, a lot of people are mad. But it's kind of sad to see Greg Papa go. I love his touchdown Raiders. It will forever be in my heart. That will ever be the best commentator, radio TV that I've ever experienced. So yeah, man, Greg Papa. He said he would have went to Vegas if he was asked, but he wasn't in the plans at all. So Mark Davis definitely had his sights on that going forward. Also, the television. So the preseason games will have Rich Gannon this year, along with Beth Mowins. Beth Mowins has been doing it for the past 2 years, I believe. So Rich Gannon will be doing preseason this year. You know, Rich Gannon has been really involved with the Raiders in the past few months with John Gruden coming back. He was offered a coaching job for the quarterback position. He did not take that. He didn't think he was up to par with Gruden's intensity, but he respected the offer, and he's been by a lot. He's been talking to Derek Carr. He's very excited about what's going on over here with the Raiders. So that's that. That's the TV side of things. That's behind the scenes. Training camp started today. Well, the players started reporting. All the rookies and quarterbacks reported to training camp this today. Friday, I believe, is the first squad practice. But another thing I want to talk about as we're reaching the 6-minute mark, and if you're still here, I appreciate you. Khalil Mack. Is now the time to panic? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm starting to panic. I didn't think it was going to take this long for the Raiders to get a deal done. Now, on the contrary, the Rams on the down here on the south also have Aaron Donald to wrap up in a contract, and I think Aaron Donald is doing the same as Khalil Mack. They both have the same agent, so I think the timetable for the both of them to get a deal done is going to be identical, if not nearly around the same time. I think once one gets done, whoever gets it done first will get theirs done immediately right after. These two players have been compared to each other a lot. Not on a football aspect, but I mean more of just like a dominance level when it comes to the defensive side of the things or rushing the passer. So it's a little ironic they're the same agent and all that, but that's something to think about. If you see Aaron Donald get his deal done, then I can assure you that you'd probably see Khalil Mack get his done shortly right after, or vice versa. But the scary thing is we're approaching training camp, and honestly, in my opinion, I feel like John Gruden is the guy, not the pushover type of guy that could easily just change like that. And what I'm trying to say is, you know, if Mac doesn't want to be in this football team in his eyes, right? He's not showing up. He hasn't been there at all. I don't know if there's any communication between him and Khalil Mack. I'm just going off of what I've seen so far through interviews and through, you know, when Gruden talks, that maybe Gruden will fucking pull the trigger and say, see ya, and get rid of Khalil Mack or not sign him to this deal. Then again, too, man, I don't know how we're going to get that deal done. As far as cap space goes right now, we have nothing. So I'm not sure what our plans are. We still don't have a middle linebacker, like a for sure little middle linebacker with experience. So that's it. These are all questions going into training camp right now that are concerning, at least in my eyes, especially the Khalil Mack thing. I want to know what you guys think. Is it time to panic now that training camp is here? Who knows? Maybe Khalil Mack shows up this week. I guess we'll find out. If he doesn't, do you guys hit the panic button? And what are your feelings? Do you think we're really going to get a deal done, or do you think Khalil Mack holds out even leaking into the season? Not even forget about preseason, leaking into the season. It's a little scary right now. So I just kind of want to talk about that, guys. I want to know your thoughts on Greg Papa. I know I saw some fans online, on Twitter at least, they were like, stop bitching about Greg Papa, and others were very sad about Greg Papa leaving and even threatened to just leave the Raiders. So it's really mixed right now. On my side, though, I am sad that Greg Papa will no longer be calling the Raider games. I'll miss his voice for sure, but it's understandable. Mark's putting his stamp on the team and going forward with that. And last three things I want to touch. Rest in peace to Tony Sperano, man. He passed away yesterday at the age of 56 in his sleep. Very sad. If you didn't know, he was the interim head coach for the Oakland Raiders back in 2014 when we coached when Dennis Allen was the head coach. When we started 0-10, he's the one. He helped us bury the ball, and we ended up getting victories against Kansas City and the Niners a few weeks after that. So rest in peace to him, man. A lot of players loved him. Brashard Beelan Breeland, sorry, was in for a visit today in the Raiders, and he left the building. Cornerback. If you didn't know, he signed a deal with, I think, with the Panthers that got rejected because of failed physical. So now he was healthy. Now he was going. I think he's going to the Chiefs on Tuesday. So if he signs with the Chiefs, that kind of suck. But I would have expected him to sign. I don't know where the Raiders were gonna sign him to like a freaking 25-cent deal, because we ain't got no fucking money, man. Um, so yeah, that's oh, and also Tony Klein. Tony Klein, former Raider, former defensive player from the 70s, also passed away this week. So rest in peace to them. Very sad news. And that is it for me for right now, guys. If you enjoyed this video, Raider Talk, boy, ugly head ass looking boy right here. Leave a like down below. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Hey, fucking Madden comes out in like under a week. Right here, I'm getting excited. Football's coming back, baby. I got tickets to the Raiders and Rams preseason game in Los Angeles, so I'm very excited about that. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're new here, if you're a Raider fan or not, if you enjoyed this, if you're a hater and you just want to see what Raider fans have to say, subscribe to me anyways. I will take it. I hope to be putting some more videos out here for the rest of the season, guys. So I hope you really enjoyed this. And give me some feedback down below, man. If you don't like this setup, this mic is trash, I'll go and buy a mic probably tomorrow. Fuck, if you tell me to. Alright, guys, that's my time. I'm Mr. Raider Kid. Follow me on the socials if you want to. I hate social media, though, low-key. Oh, my cat. Alright, guys, that's it. See you later.